Okay guys, so I'm going to try to record this video pretty quickly because I just had to turn my fan off and it's 90 degrees where I am. I'm in New York and it's like the first couple of days that it's been 90 degrees so far this summer. It's not even summer yet, it's still spring and it's 90 degrees. I'm recording this at the end of May. And on top of that, my college house doesn't have like central air or anything. I don't have a window box. All I have is a dinky little fan over there. And I've just been like opening my windows all the way and blasting the fan because it is very hot here. So what this video is going to be about is actually, it was inspired by a question I got in the comment section of one of my YouTube videos, which was someone asking me the difference between the colors dark chocolate and the color Cappuccino by Amore. And actually the colors for Amore are also the colors for Rene of Paris, since Amore is part of Rene of Paris, as well as for Noriko because they're by the same manufacturer. So all these colors will be more or less universal across the three: Amore, Rene of Paris, and Noriko. So because of that question, I was inspired to make a video showing the difference between dark chocolate and cappuccino, just so you could actually see better by me showing you what the actual colors are. But then I realized that was going to be like kind of a pointless video because how many people would need to know such a specific question. So I thought I would expand the video out farther and just show you all of the different colors by Amore and Rene of Paris, etc. that I have tried and give you my input on all of them. Obviously, I haven't tried all of the colors because there's a lot of them, but I will show you the ones that I have tried, and some of them I'll be able to show you in actual wig form, and others are colors that I've had years ago and no longer own the wig, but I can show you them through pictures, and hopefully that will suffice. Because as you guys know, if you wear wigs and you're ordering them online, it's so hard to tell the color from a swatch. It's so not accurate. It's like a super close-up photo of the hair like right here, and it's not giving you an idea of what the color looks like on the actual wig. But hopefully this will help with that if you're confused on what a color really looks like in person. So I'll start with the one I'm wearing, and this one is actually Tatum in dark chocolate. So let me get a closer view so you can see exactly what it looks like. See, where the light is hitting it here, you can see that it is a dark brown, but it has a little bit of color variation. Very, very slight highlights that you can only see in the light. Yeah, so you can really see like the slight reddish tones and streaks throughout the hair. Now the difference between dark chocolate and cappuccino is that cappuccino does not have that same color variation. It's a very similar base color, but then it doesn't have those highlights like dark chocolate does. So here is Miranda by Cappuccino. And as you can see immediately, side by side, the two do not look very different at all. They're just both very basic dark browns. But let me show you them up close and with the light on directly. So this one has a slight color variation. This one is just a very flat version of that. There's no like red undertones like you can see in the dark chocolate. But again, very, very similar, even in the light. Like, it's really hard to tell the difference. So here's the Miranda. I'm not even going to bother to brush it out too much. This is exactly how it came out of the box. So if you look closely on this, here's what the color looks like actually on. There's the dark chocolate for comparison. See, such a slight difference, you really can't tell. I guess the best way to distinguish them is that dark chocolate looks like maybe more like highlights because there's more color variation, whereas cappuccino looks more like a natural brown. This next color is Coffee Latte, and it's in the On the Style Stevie by Amore. Now, let me just say this wig is super, super old and ratty, so don't judge the Stevie based on what you see here. The Stevie is a beautiful style when it's not old like this one is, but this is just to show you the color. It's basically just like dark chocolate, but with these blonde streaks in a couple of places throughout. This one here. And here is it in the bright light. So I'm about to get into a series of colors with the LR at the end, which means long rooted. There are also some rooted colors, the color with like Macadamia-R. That means it's rooted, which means the roots probably come like just about here. They're short roots. The long roots are farther down and they start to about your ear, so it's more of like an ombre look. And this one is Crimson LR. And I am in love with this red. Now let me shine the light on it so you can see exactly just how much this red shines, because it's not like super bright red, but it's definitely more vibrant than it's showing right now. And there we go. It's just like a nice deep burgundy, and it's like so beautiful. Next up, this is Banana Split LR. And if you're curious, this style is Janelle PM, which means partial monochrome. If you want to see the reviews for any of these wigs, I will link them all in the description below. So if you're curious about a specific wig style, then you can check out the reviews down in the description. And again, since it's a long rooted color, you can see that the roots start and end about here. I think they'll start and end differently on every wig. So let's say you're getting a short wig, then they'll end like up here, but if you're getting a longer wig, they'll end closer to here. It just depends on the specific style. Next, this color is Macadamia-LR. Kind of similar to Banana Split, except Banana Split's top has a more like slight reddish brown on top, whereas this one has a more darker brown on the top and transitions into a similar blonde color on the bottom. And this wig style is Seville by Noriko. Next is a more adventurous color, clearly that I am obsessed with. I'm in love with this color so much. This color is called Illumina-R. So what I love about this color is that it's clearly like a silver gray color. So like normally I wouldn't purchase a gray or silver wig because those are obviously for like older women, but the cool thing about this wig is that it has the roots. So obviously if you have darker roots, then your natural hair is the color of your roots, therefore not gray. So clearly this is like a more adventurous like color style, and like silvery hair has been like a really popular punky style lately, and I think it's so beautiful. I've been wanting to have silver hair forever. I would buy like the really bright blondes because that was as close as I can get to getting like white hair, and now I actually have a silver color option and I'm in love with it. I feel like my review of this wig did not do it justice because I was in like really weird lighting, so I looked really pale and the color of the wig didn't look as good, and I didn't know how to style it yet. Now that I've actually worn this wig a couple times, I'm even more in love with it. And this wig is Tessa PM by Noriko. This color is Strawberry Swirl, and the style is Tatum. And again, this wig is super ratty because I just pulled it out of the box, and it's also pretty old. I've been wearing it to the lake nearby, I've been running in it, so it's not in the best shape that it's ever been in. It's not as silky as my new Tatum, which I'm in love with, but this is the color. And it's very pretty. So actually, the Tatum posted on like the major wig sites is also in Strawberry Swirl, or at least some of the pictures are. And that's part of the reason that I bought this color, because in those pictures it looks even blonder than this, and I prefer lighter blondes than I do medium blondes. And here's what the picture looks like. If you look at that compared to this, that color is beautiful, and I wish it existed. That's probably much closer to like a creamy toffee or even like vanilla Lush maybe. Those are the colors that I probably would have wanted, but this is actually what Strawberry Swirl looks like in person. And again, the color is very beautiful. I just don't like it on my skin tone as much. I don't hate it. Sometimes I still love wearing this wig and I think it's cute, but because it does look more dyed and it doesn't really exactly match my skin tone, I do feel like I have to touch up my makeup a lot more when wearing this color, because if my hair is so glamorous, I feel like my face has to look more glamorous as well. These highlights are actually about as light as Creamy Blonde, which is a very light blonde, and then the rest of it is like almost a reddish. This is more like Mochaccino, I think. Here's the last wig color that I physically have with me, and then I'll get into the pictures of wigs that I've had in the past to show you other wig colors that I've tried. But this one is Creamy Blonde. It is the lightest blonde you can get without getting into like the white-gray realm. For most, at least that I've seen. I believe there's one called like something Pearl that's like almost even whiter than this, but that's like on the verge of white hair. This is like the lightest blonde that I've seen. And this wig is Shiloh by Noriko. And this is when I should show you the light on it, because in the light, in the sunlight and outside, it looks even lighter. Definitely like a very light golden blonde. Still in the golden range as opposed to white, but it's getting there. It's getting close to the white range. But I'm in love with this color. And I'll also insert a picture of the Coty, because I also had the Coty in this color, and this is when I was in high school, so I don't have it anymore. I actually dyed all of the old Cotys I used to have. Because this color is so light, certain dyes will take to it. Obviously not human hair dye, that doesn't work on synthetic hair, but there's like a certain mixture of like an ink that you can use to actually dye your old blonde wigs. If you want to see a video about that, I can put a video over here. But basically all of the Coty wigs that I've ever owned have been dyed purple and blue and green and all those fun colors, because I also love having really crazy fun colored hair. So now let me find a picture of Vanilla Lush. I will insert that over here. You can see the slight color variation. And again, since it's a picture, it's a little bit harder to tell, but you can kind of get a better idea that it's a slightly darker blonde, but still very light, and it's a little bit more gold. So while the creamy blonde has like mostly the light highlights, you can see the Vanilla Lush has hints of that, but most of it is a little bit of a darker gold color. Now lastly, a couple of the colors I'm going to mention are actually colors that I tried during the Amore shoot, but I've never actually owned these colors, but I did get to try them on for a day, and I can show you the pictures that were used in the catalog of myself wearing those colors. The first one is the one I modeled the Miranda wig in, and that one was Creamy Toffee-R. So here's a picture of that color in Miranda, and that is a case of a regular rooted wig as opposed to a long rooted wig, so you can't really tell just by looking at it directly from this straight on photo that it is rooted, but if you look at it from the top, which I obviously can't angle the photo to show you that, if you look at the top of it you can see the roots kind of like underneath. So it's almost like lightly growing in roots as opposed to the longer roots, which is like more of the ombre look. So my estimate of the lightness order would be, I think, Creamy Toffee, then Vanilla Lush. Those two are very close though. That might be like a difference in amount of highlights rather than shade, because those are very close in color, and then Creamy Blonde is slightly lighter than those two. The next one I tried during the shoot was actually for the Amore video, so this one's not in the catalog, but it is in the video that I will link over here if you want to see the video. It's just me trying on all the new Amore XO wigs, which are all so beautiful. But that's like the really, really curly wig that I got to try. My boyfriend took a picture of me wearing it, but this was not in the catalog. It's just a picture we took on the side. This is in the wig Penelope XO, and this is in the color Spring Honey R. So again, another case of you can't really tell it's rooted, but it is if you look from the top, and that helps it look more natural because obviously wigs wouldn't have roots growing in, but like natural hair would have that, so it just makes it look more realistic. And the last one I got to try in the shoot is one that I got to try on Cody XO, which is in the catalog. Here's the picture from the catalog, and it is Mochaccino-R. Another color that I never thought to try, but it's very beautiful. It's kind of more like a reddish blonde. It's like somewhere on the line between like light brown and like a darker blonde. I think it's very pretty. And again, there's a lot of color variation, so it has some lighter highlights and some darker undertones. And I think now that I've tried a lot of the rooted colors, I don't think I would buy not rooted just because I think the roots make it look so natural. But again, some people hate roots at the same time. I have a friend who's like, why would you ever buy a wig with roots? People are constantly trying to get their hair dyed to get the roots removed. Why would you do that on purpose and permanently? But I think the reason a lot of wig wearers on YouTube and stuff and outside of YouTube get the rooted ones is because they look more natural, because if you have roots it looks more like human hair, because most human hair that's dyed is gonna have roots inevitably after like the 5th day of wearing it. Okay, those are all the wig colors that I have tried by Amore, Rene of Paris / Noriko, because again they all have the same relative color palette. Only certain wigs are available in certain colors, so it's going to be different for everyone you look at, and that's kind of unfortunate because there's certain wigs that don't offer rooted colors yet that might look good and rooted and stuff like that. So again, you're not going to find universally like every single color across the board. But most of the more basic colors you will. Like dark chocolate you'll probably find for all of them, and probably creamy blonde across the board, but some of the more like varied colors like strawberry swirl and probably vanilla lush you're not going to find for every single wig. So let me know in the comments below what you think of all these wig colors, which you think look best on me, because I always take your opinion into account for future wigs that I'm going to buy. I want to stay away from the colors that look bad on me if I don't realize they look bad on me. And let me know the colors that you've tried that I have not tried and which ones you recommend. I know a lot of you guys have tried Creamy Toffee and highly recommend it, so I definitely want to try that one more soon. Alright, so I hope this video was somewhat helpful to you guys. Again, sorry I couldn't show all of the colors, but I hope that you were able to find something you liked in this video, and I hope that it was a little bit more revealing than these swatches, which are very hard to interpret sometimes. So thank you guys so much for watching, and hit thumbs up and hit subscribe and all that stuff, and I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.